earlier on, I was researching and I thought, how do I come up with enough good reasons amongst hundreds of reasons to nominate Keir Starmer as Plank of the Year? So I thought I'll whittle it down just to 10.
Right,
I've got a bit of time, so if I can just rattle this off. So these are my top 10 Keir Starmer Plank of the Year moments. Didn't stop the boats. Said he would.
No.
Didn't stop the boats.
No.
Didn't not increase taxes on working people. He said he wouldn't do that.
Right.
He did. Killed the economy.
Yep.
And that's quite a big one, I think.
He had some help from Rachel Reeves.
He has, the worst budget we've ever had in Britain. Inflation now 50% higher than target. GDP growth going backwards. Unemployment up. Borrowing up. Increased unemployment significantly. Got humiliated by Trump, remember that?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely wonderful scene where Trump calls him over, spends 5 seconds talking to him, and then just turns around, puts his back to him, and Starmer has to scurry off like a scolded child. That was fantastic. And recently, you may have seen this, revelations that he spent £60,000 on a private jet to go and see the Lionesses play football in the final.
Oh, yeah.
60 grand of your money. So that, I think, qualifies. That's number 6. Being the least popular Prime Minister ever, and already fending off leadership challenges just 18 months into his tenure. Lost his bottle on welfare reform, if you remember. Pledged to cut energy bills. They've gone up. And lastly, 6 ministerial resignations just this year. A total of 12 since he took office only 18 months ago.
It's just incredible, isn't it?
So is it the winner? Sure.
I'm going to find it very difficult not to find Keir Starmer the biggest
You wait. I'm going to throw the gauntlet down, Ross. Don't you worry.
Of the year. But I mean, there's even more things that you could have put in there. You could put 100 things. You could put
the Taylor Swift party,
you could probably do 365 for every single day of the year.
Mention Andrew Rayner.
We're going to get to Angela Rayner because she's in there as well. But also, I mean, he has this incredibly thick sort of countenance, doesn't he? Because every single time that there's a massive crisis, which seems to be pretty much every week, he puts some ridiculous tweet out. Like today, for example, the day we're recording this, he put this tweet out: "The Employment Rights Act is now law. This is the biggest upgrade to working people's rights in a generation. Working people, you will be protected from fire and rehire. You won't be forced into an exploitative 0 hours contract. You will get sick pay from day one. You will have stronger family leave, and so much more." What he doesn't say is, that means nobody's going to hire you.
Exactly.
So that's killed the entire business.
Exactly. The response from employers, many of whom I've spoken to, just say, well, we're either going to shut our businesses down now, this is the last straw, or certainly not employ people. There is a number 11 that I've just remembered, actually, which was only a couple of weeks ago. Lando Norris, I don't know if you're Formula One fans, Lando Norris, of course, won the Formula One Championship.
Yes.
British driver, fantastic, well-deserved. So the next day, so that was on the Sunday, the next day, Keir Starmer was advised to go to the McLaren Formula One factory in Woking.
I remember this.
And made a speech. And I don't know if you've got this. I mean, if you could put this in, this will be hilarious, because he makes a speech and the people around him that work for McLaren that otherwise were celebrating, right? So their drivers just won the Formula One World Championship. The look on their faces, there were side eyes, eyes rolling, people touching left, right and centre. He completely dampened the atmosphere at the McLaren factory.
Be here the day after Lando won yesterday, and I hope you've all got a smile on your faces, because that interview with him afterwards, which I hope you've all seen, quite emotional, well, very emotional.
Also, all of the things that he does seem to be completely as if he doesn't realise that there's a great big fire over there, and it's like, and he's going, "Oh, we're going to open a Universal theme park in Luton." Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we had some great fun with it, where you have the train that doesn't go anywhere. You've got a HS2, right? But you can't get from point A to point B because there's a bat in a tunnel that you can't go past. There was the dinghy ride where you get in a dinghy, you get shoot across the other side of the lake, you get put in a hotel, you get given free pizza and a nice jacket from what's it called?
Universal. Keir, isn't it? Calamity Keir.
It is Calamity Keir. I mean, let me ask Kinsey, because I know this is all a bit domestic for your purposes, Kinsey, but I mean, we hear all the time here that the Americans are kind of aghast at what's going wrong with Britain and how terrible it is here to live, and how the crime is rampant and all the rest of it. But I mean, do any Americans actually really know Keir Starmer? Have they a clue who he is?
I mean, what we know of Keir Starmer is a lot of the negative things he said about Donald Trump before Trump was elected for a second term. He was so ugly about Trump. And so what we see on TV a lot is the contrast between before Trump was elected and after, where he's basically the man who needs his knee pads. He's like so thrilled to be Trump's company. He's got cartoon hearts popping out of his eyes whenever it's around Donald Trump now. And but I will say, I recently talked to somebody who works in hostage negotiations here in the States. He works for the government and does hostage negotiations all over the world for our government. And I said, I'd love to move to the UK. It's a dream to move to the UK. He said to me, the UK is gone. He said, London is gone. It's not a safe place for someone like you. And that broke my heart. But based on the news I see, I believe it.
It's true. And
London has fallen.
Yeah.
London has fallen.
And now it's official. And of course, you don't often hear the words hostages and Keir Starmer in the same sentence.
Sausages.
Because famously, he made a speech where he actually asked for the hostages to be released from Hamas in Gaza. And for some bizarre reason, he said, release the sausages. And you kind of go, do you remember that clip? I think we might have that.
I call again for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the return of the sausages, the hostages.
It's just incredible.
It is. I mean, I have a hard time taking him serious. So he does sound like Kermit the Frog. Everything you said is incredibly accurate. Boris Johnson was a much more prominent character over here in the United States. Then Liz Truss, then Rishi Sunak, and Keir is just, he doesn't feel like an effective leader. There's something very weak about him, and he's not very assertive compared to our president. And I'm not gloating. I know we have our own problems, but compared to our president, he comes off as a very weak man.
Well, he's got the gravitas of a kind of HSBC middle manager.
Yes.
That's kind of his mark.
And let's not forget the other thing that he's done most recently, and this story is still a scandal for me, he's cancelled the elections again. He's basically said, the elections that were going to be cancelled for 1 year will now be cancelled for 3 years, and they basically given permission for every local council leader, if they wish to just say, we're not going to have the election.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've got to say, Essex particularly, because they've had their elections cancelled previously by the government and Essex County Council, are absolutely up in arms, as they should be. Democracy delayed, democracy denied, and so on. But the other thing, just to mention with Keir Starmer, of course, we shouldn't forget summer 2024, where he basically said, if you're a patriotic person, a mum or a grandmother that's kind of a bit concerned about the country and therefore comes out onto the street to peacefully protest, he labelled us all as far-right thugs.
Yes.
Prime Minister of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, basically saying, if you're patriotic, you're a Nazi.
Unbelievable stuff. Well, let's have a look at what he did this Christmas, because he lit the Christmas tree up. Remember last year where
you did the countdown, I remember that.
3, 1, and we made it, it's a Thunderbird. It was brilliant. But this year he obviously learned from that, so he got a kid to do it, right? I mean, it's the last sort of bastion of the scoundrel, is you get a child involved. So he got this 14-year-old kid to come in and do the countdown, because he knew that nobody would make fun of it, except for the fact that the kid did it and was about to hit the big red button, and as he walked towards it, all the lights came on. So it was a fake button, fake government, fake lights, fake prime minister,
fake people.
And that just tells you everything you need to know.